What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into DLF. I am your host, Justin. Today, we are talking through 5 moves to make heading into Week 6. Now, right, there's a lot that happened in Week 5, obviously. So we're talking through guys to cut, guys to trade for, and, some players to add off of waivers. Obviously, right, it's DLF, it's Dynasty. We sprinkle in a little redraft here, so we'll cover both. But before we get into it, again, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe to the channel, guys. Questions, comments, always drop that stuff down below. Like the video, right? Do the YouTube stuff. All right, let's get into it. Number 1 on the list, the first move. This probably may not be your priority, but I feel like it has to be said. In redraft specifically, cut Allen Robinson. In Dynasty, you can probably cut him too. It's crazy to think I'm at this point in, again, right, Week 6 of the NFL season, that Allen Robinson is just a full-blown disaster. He's a nightmare. He has one game over 50 yards through 5 weeks. Heading into Week 5, right, he had a 12% target share, basically. He comes out of Week 5 with less than a 10% target share. You can't play Allen Robinson. And here's the thing. Imagine that Rams offense if Cooper Kupp gets hurt. They're not going to be able to move the ball. I'm not even sure I'm excited for Allen Robinson as like a wide receiver handcuff, right? Like, that's a gross thing to think about. Obviously, in Dynasty, you probably don't have a better option on waivers at this point, and that's fine. You can hold him, but specifically redraft, just move on. Like, there's nothing to do here. There's nothing beneficial, right? He's running short routes. He's catching 2 to 3 passes for 10 to 15 yards. Like, it just doesn't matter. There's a million other players I'd rather have on waivers, again, in redraft. Jumping over to our next move, we're talking DJ Dallas. Now that, obviously, Rashad Penny is out for a very long time, potentially this season, DJ Dallas is the next man up, right? He is now the 3rd string to 2nd string running back. Obviously, right, Kenneth Walker's the guy that is who you want. Again, if you drafted him, great. This is what we were hoping for, or shouldn't say hoping. We're not hoping for injury. We're hoping for a workhorse role. This just happens to be how he got it. But that means DJ Dallas, who's owned in about 19, 20% of leagues over on Sleeper, again, Dynasty. Should anything happen to Kenneth Walker, he would see a massive uptick in pass catching work and rushing work, all of those things, right? In Dynasty, just hold the handcuffs, right? It may not be fun to say you're rostering DJ Dallas, and it may mean absolutely nothing, right? It could be a complete wash of a move. But you'd rather be safe than sorry. DJ Dallas should be added in Dynasty at this point. Again, only rostered in 19% of leagues over on Sleeper right now. Going from one kind of gross running back to another, add Tevin Coleman, right? Tevin Coleman's available in 95% of leagues on Sleeper. Basically every single league, and for obvious reasons, right? Tevin Coleman hasn't been good in a very long time, it feels like, but he is back with the 49ers. He is the clear-cut number 2, just based on usage coming out of Week 5, right? Takes 2 touchdowns, gets some receiving work, 8 carries, 11 total opportunities, alongside or behind Jeff Wilson. Now, right, like, you've heard this exact story before, where you have a backfield with Jeff Wilson and Tevin Coleman, and, instead of Elijah Mitchell, it was Raheem Mostert, right? Just this weird trio of running backs, and Elijah Mitchell's hurt, but he's probably going to come back at some point this year. But for now, Tevin Coleman is the 2, right? And again, I love Jeff Wilson. He has been spectacular. We know Jeff Wilson's probably going to get banged up at some point, right? He plays running back for the 49ers. It's basically a guarantee. So Tevin Coleman has to be rostered because that role has value. He's already jumped Jordan Mason, who was basically a nothing move the entire offseason, including Week 1, including Week 2, right? You should have never been really looking at Jordan Mason too much. He's a special teamer. But Tevin Coleman is now the RB2. So if you're looking for depth, it's a similar ad to DJ Dallas, right? He's probably not great, but he might see volume, and running backs are dropping like flies, so you may as well go at him now and just see what comes of it. Again, it's probably nothing, but it could be a solid weekly flex or RB2 should something happen. Now, getting to our trades, right? We got one guy to trade away, one trade target. First, we'll start off with the trade target. If you are a contender, that is all this is for, right? If you're not competing, skip this part. It doesn't matter. If you are a contending Dynasty roster, trade for Raheem Mostert. That is, again, sounds insane to say, right? We're just talking about all of the old 49ers running backs. But Raheem Mostert is the workhorse back in Miami. Chase Edmonds, 15% of snaps this week. He's basically pushing like Myles Gaskin. Like that's the type of usage he's getting. He's basically non-existent. Raheem Mostert leaves week 5 with 69% of snaps. Pretty sick. Over 70% of the rushing attempts. A lot of the short yardage work, red zone work. He should have caught another touchdown, right? He has a monster day, and maybe they get Tua back, maybe they don't. They have a third string quarterback now, right? And basically, they're going to have to run. Like, it's the inverse of the 49ers, where all the quarterbacks are down, not the running backs. So they're going to have to run the ball. And again, it's Mike McDaniels. We know the system works. We know Raheem Mostert can thrive in this exact system. So basically, if Mostert's out there and he's not on a contending roster already, go throw, I don't want to say a 2023 second. That feels too high. Go throw out a 2024 second, right? I did the same thing for Melvin Gordon in a league. And I think that is fine value. If somebody's not taking that, give them a 2023 third. Do not give them a 2023 second. I can't condone or endorse that type of move. There's too much upside there for a guy that right now is the workhorse. May not survive the season, right? We know what Raheem Mostert can do in terms of injury. So I'm not going to go all in and say, right, league-winning move. No. But he's an RB2. Like, that has a ton of value. Again, you can never have enough running backs with how injuries are shaping up. Again, like they always do. But Raheem Mostert, he's out there. If he's not on a contender, make sure he's on your roster. I think that is a very good move. And our last move here, and this is spicy, you can call it. It's a bigger move than we typically get on these types of episodes, but it's something I think is important. If you are not contending, or you're a pretender, and be real with yourself, trade away Dalvin Cook, right? He's coming off of a bounce-back game on a season where he has just been, good, not great. Hasn't been scoring touchdowns, has not been catching passes. He comes up with, a 26-point day, depending on your scoring, but a 26-point bounce-back, right? A true Dalvin Cook performance. And now, right, people are probably looking at him thinking, okay, Dalvin Cook has returned. But in reality, I'm terrified for what the rest of the season holds for Dalvin Cook, honestly, right? On top of, age aside, right? He's 27 years old. I already want him off my roster as a running back in general. But his snaps have continued to fall. Alexander Madison's role continues to grow, especially in the receiving game, right? That has been the biggest issue. Dalvin Cook has now seen under a 6% target share in 3 straight weeks. Right, the narrative all offseason, and one that I believed was in this new offense, right? The Kevin O'Connell offense, they're going to pass more. That's going to be huge for Dalvin Cook's value. He's not getting the targets. It's going to Alexander Madison, or at least some of them are. And that's enough to cap Dalvin Cook's upside. And we've seen that, right? He's basically become a, 18 to 22 carry guy, mix in 1 or 2 targets. And that's good. Like that's good volume. But it's not enough for what you can probably get back in a trade right now, right? Again, you can get a very good 2023 first to a contender that is hurting at running back, even if they're not, right? The name Dalvin Cook still carries value. The best time to trade an aging running back is in season, right? We're not really hyper-focusing on age. The second we get to March, everybody's going to be like, oh, crap, Dalvin Cook's 27, turning 28. Like, this is a nightmare. Then do it right now. Off of a monster game, go get a first and a wide receiver. Go get 2 firsts, right? Maybe not both 2023, and I think that ship is gone, but a 2023 and a 2024. Like, this is the time to do it. He's bounced back. People say, okay, he got the monkey off his back. He's back to being a superstar, right? And he could be. But the usage is getting concerning, right? He played under 60% of snaps in week 5. Madison played more, got more touches than usual. I'm getting concerned. Again, if you're a pretender, screw it. Even if you're a contender, I'd be looking to flip him for some other running backs that I think can probably carry RB2 upside and get a pick or something on top. I'm really getting more concerned with Dalvin Cook, even as I'm going through this video. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. Again, if you got questions, comments, drop that stuff down below. If you like what we're doing, you like the video, subscribe. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.